I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Freeman, will you be here?
Heavenly Father, we ask tonight for special blessings for our armed forces as they deal with certain crises. We also ask your blessings upon us for all of our constituents and our city. And we pray that we all make the right decision and in the collegial manner in which we should attend. Thank you. Amen.
Roll call.
Mayor Robert Rodriguez.
Present.
Councilmember Margaret Morales.
Present.
Councilmember Ray Davis.
Here.
Councilmember Donald Hewitt.
Here.
Councilmember Ray Shelton.
Present.
Councilmember Patricia Sosa.
Here.
Councilmember Jose Casa.
Present.
City Manager Doreen Watson. City Attorney Juan Pablo Torres.
Present.
City Treasurer Luis Pedrosa.
Present.
And Mr. Mayor, also for the record, we have the Deputy City Manager Don present as Doreen Watson.
Thank you so much. Item number 5, person wishing to address the council in writing or verbally on any item not on the agenda. Do we have any requests?
Yes, we have one, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. This is Morales. Maria Morales. Yes.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council President. My name is Maria Morales of 2145 East 12th Street, Dallas, Arizona. And behalf of the Douglas, my name is Maria Morales of 2145 East 12th Street, Dallas, Arizona. On behalf of the Douglas Conservative Club, Step Up and Just Change, I would like to personally and publicly want to thank those that participated in the debate on December 16, 2019 at the YMCA. Those running for city mayor and those running for wards 1, 3, and 5 for council positions in Douglas. Thank you, Mr. Don Hughes, Mr. David Studer, and Mr. Robert Moreno for your participation in the debate. Also, thank you, Mr. Margaret Morales and Mr. Mario Ramos Jr. running for council in Ward 1, Ms. Dania Acosta running for council in Ward 3, and Mr. Michael Valdenegro running for council in Ward 5. More than 50 very challenging and unedited questions came from the Douglas community, were turned in to our 3 organizations, and only about 4 came from our 3 organizations that coordinated the event. We felt that we were not going to change any wording, as we felt that participants needed to hear and listen to the community they are are planning to represent is elected to their respective posts. The committee from the three organizations chose the questions that the committee felt were the most important and relevant for the time allotted. 1 hour for the mayoral debate and 1 hour for the board debate participants. As announced, no rehearsal or advance notice of the questions were asked that night. Just to let the public know that for the next 3 winter months, we will not be holding our monthly meetings at the YMCA, but at the Crystal Life Center at 20th and Frederick every third Monday at 5:30 p.m. Thank you and wish the best to all running to make Douglas a better place and community.
Thank you. Thank you. Item number 6. Happy New Year, Douglas, Arizona. We're going to jump into the presentation of awards, trophy recognition for Christmas Light Parade, and the winners. We had a wonderful Christmas holiday, and we had an awesome Christmas tree lighting ceremony. We're going to start with 3rd place, the Community Health Associates. Are they here?
I don't believe so.
No. What about DUSC, Joe Carson Elementary School? I'll take them home. 1st place, BB Dance. I don't see BB Dance here. No. And we're going to also have a recognition by Councilmember Mr. Grijalva. So at this moment, I'm going to transfer this recognition over to Councilman Jose Grijalva.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is something that I usually like to do at the start of the meetings of every month to recognize our employees for their hard work. And it's not something that I just pick randomly and, hey, let's give somebody, random. This is for specific things that I see from our employees. One of the recipients that will get recognized this evening is Police Chief Craig Bullen. I admire his work. I think I've told him many times, I feel the only reason I'm here and I feel safe is because of his presence and his department's presence. His leadership, he's highly respected in our community, he's highly respected in his department. He great personality. I met his lovely wife. He's a great husband. This is something that I think we need to recognize, because if it wasn't for Chief Bullen being here, I would not feel safe. If it wasn't for his department being here, I would not feel safe. So I appreciate all that you do, Chief. I appreciate all that you do for our community. And also for Fire Chief Kevin Lomelí. This one is a specific meeting that we were in last year. I don't know if he remembers, but it was a department head meeting. And that was the first time we did something like that. And, everybody was kind of nervous about talking, about what they needed, about what their departments needed. And when City Manager Doreen Watson said, who wants to start first? Kind of stayed quiet for a few seconds. And Chief Lomelí was the first one that not only volunteered to talk first, but, it was not about him. It was about what his department needed, what his firefighters needed to do a great job and also to be safe. He's always kept his department first, and every time I like to walk around City Hall and around our community, when I see his firefighters, they always rave about him. They talk about his leadership, they talk about, the great job that he's doing. The only negative thing I'd say about Mr. Lomelí is, I wish we had him sooner. I wish he'd be here 30, 40 more years because of the way he's turned his department around. And it wasn't an easy job, because he's been in this position for 1 year. He's the new boss of his department, but he also had a new boss and a city manager. So the strides he's made in his department and his performance, and also for Chief Bullen, the only thing I can say is, to sum it up, is I'm very proud to have you as our employees, and you guys, your leaderships are a model for our city. So I'd like to thank you and recognize you for your great work. We had our city manager who just left because of illness, and I think she has the certificate. But I'll give them to you. This is pretty awkward, but I just wanted to say thank you, and hopefully this is a small gesture that we can do for you for the great work that you do.
Mr. Mayor, may I have a couple minutes?
Yeah, absolutely, of course.
Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Grijalva, I am truly appreciative of your comments. And undeserving. I will tell you that this job would be impossible if it wasn't for the 44 men and women who come to work prepared to do this job every single day, and for the trust the community has placed in both our department and my office. So it's an honor, it's a privilege to serve the citizens and community of Douglas, and again, it wouldn't be possible without everyone else that comes here to do the work every day, day in and day out, and the community that helps us with that job. I said it before and I'll say it until I retire. It takes a community to police the community, so thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you. We're moving on to certificates.
Mr. Mayor, I want to leave it like this. You were no pressure.
Thank you. I didn't have anything prepared, Mayor and Council, but I agree 100% with Chief Blumen. But I would like to add that it's also because of the support that we receive from the Mayor and Council, City Administration, our fellow co-workers, but most importantly our families. I know Chief Blumen would agree with this. If it wasn't for the support of our families, I might not be here tonight. You know, and I know you feel the same way. It's a group effort, and most importantly, it's thanks to your support. I appreciate it.
Thank you both. Congratulations. Thank you. We have certificate of appreciation for local businesses, which are unequivocally the backbone of our community. And for that, we have Councilwoman Morales, who's going to be highlighting and recognizing the small businesses.
Yes, thank you. I started last year recognizing businesses that have been here in Douglas, and we do the ones that reach milestones. And this year I'm honored to say that we have quite a few ranging from 5 years all the way up to 85 years. And it's something that I want to continue doing, but I do want to recognize these businesses. So if you'll come up to the front when I call your name. We have Border Taco celebrating 5 years.
Aquí no van la foto. Felicidades.
I have Beth Webster, and it's celebrating 10 years. I have First Glass, celebrating 15 years. I have El Alamo Restaurant, celebrating 20 years in business. I have Bird Sheet Metal and Construction, celebrating 25 years. I have Cool Treats Dairy Queen of Douglas, also celebrating 25 years. I have Coach Supplies celebrating 25 years. And I have DeBoer Auto Supply celebrating 85 years.
A rose between the thorns.
So that council can stand up behind him?
All right, Mayor, have a sit, there we go. So sorry, you're fine. Okay, everybody else look here, please, couple shots. One more. Good, thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Morales. Moving on to item number 7, discussion decision on approval of consent agenda items. May I have a motion to approve?
Mr. Mayor,
Mrs. Morales?
I move to approve consent agenda items as follows. Expenditures for the month of December 2019 totaling $1,643,218.65. Approval of meeting minutes for November 13, 2019 and December 11, 2019. Appointment of Joey Barrera and Ida Perrigo to the Industrial Development Authority Board effective January 8, 2020. And resignation of Debbie Went from the Planning and Zoning Board effective December 31st, 2019. And appointment of Debbie Went to the Community Housing Corporation Board effective January 8, 2020.
Is there a second? Second. Motion by Councilmember Morales, second by Councilmember Shelton. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilmember Morales?
Yes.
Councilmember Lindemann?
Yes.
Councilmember Hewitt?
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Soto?
Yes.
Councilmember Grijalva?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, motion carries. And just an FYI to the small businesses, it's going to be a lengthy meeting. You guys are absolutely welcome to stay for the entire meeting, but you guys don't have to, just an FYI.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion because of the small businesses here that there's an item that pertains to them, number 18. Should we move that up? Okay, to the next item, number 8, if we could put it up for a vote.
Is there a motion to move what item?
I move to move that item.
Okay, so I have a motion on the floor by Councilmember Lindemann, second by Councilmember Grijalva. And so is it number 18? Parking. Item number 18, discussion decision on approval of resolution number 20-1387, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, authorizing the city of Douglas to reconfigure certain parking in the downtown historic area. And for that, we have Peter Gardner with us.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. You guys may remember that last month we did hold a work session to discuss reconfiguring parking along certain blocks of G Avenue from parallel parking to angled parking to increase the number of spaces. This would decrease the number of travel lanes in each direction from Pan American down to 10, from 2 travel lanes in a turn lane to 1 travel lane in each direction, and the turn lane would increase our parking down there by 40 to 50% and would increase mobility a little bit. The way the resolution is worded gives staff authority, so we have a little bit of flexibility that we can kind of do this as a pilot program just to ensure that if it doesn't work out, we can switch it back instead of being forced to switch it all and come back to council to turn it all back. You'll also note there is an exception for the west block in front of the government center and the Gaston Hotel to keep the parallel parking to aid loading, unloading, and the handicap access there. Unless there's any other questions, that will conclude my presentation on the side.
Thank you, Mr. Gardner. May I have a motion to approve?
Mayor,
Ms. Lindemann?
I move to approve resolution number 20-1387.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Lindemann, second by Councilmember Grijalva. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have a couple of questions.
Absolutely.
Mr. Gardner, in the resolution, if we keep the parallel parking on the west side of the Gadsden block, does that also go for the east side? So
No,
that's
sir.
the whole block?
No, sir, we would just do it on that one side to configure that, to keep that additional loading area, but we wouldn't go from 1 lane to 2 lanes back down to 1 lane. It's really just, it gives us some space to work on good handicap and loading access there.
Okay. I'm thinking that quite possibly for aesthetic value, that whole block should just be the way it is right now, with parallel parking, and you still have one lane of travel. But for aesthetics, it just, in my mind, I'm just wondering if how the rest of the council will feel about that. Mr. Gardner?
Certainly, the resolution would permit us to do that, since it does give us the leeway. It takes away our ability to change the parking directly in front of the Gadsden, but again, we could keep it for aesthetic purposes and come up with some ideas of what to do with that extra space on those sides, certainly.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Hirsch? Comments and questions. As I represent a lot of that area that we're talking about, I went and talked with a few people down in that area, business owners. Spoke with the Gadsden. They're happy with the parallel parking on in front of their establishment. Also spoke with the bank, Washington Federal, which is on the corner there of 10th and G. They applaud the angle parking, feeling that it would benefit them as far as getting more people, have more space for people, patrons to be able to come in there, even though they have a parking lot just to the east of their building. Still, the tendency is we want to park as close as we can to the front door. So I would suggest that we stay with the plan that's presented, meaning diagonal parking on the east side between 10th and 11th, and stay with the parallel parking on the west side. Also spoke with one other citizen that approached me that said they felt that there was, last time we had all diagonal parking, the accident rates increased from backing out from that. Well, I'm not gonna, I think it's, the overriding factor here is being able to have more patrons and businesses and have that availability to them. I want people to be safe, but maybe we have a class on backing skills or something along those lines to help alleviate if there is a problem. But I appreciate the fact that, it is somewhat a trial, that we can also massage it and do things, but in answer to Councilman Lindeman's question to the council, I think we should stay with that diagonal on the east side of G Avenue to 10th and 11th. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, if I can, to piggyback off Mr. Hewish's point, one of the diagonal parking, it would help because, he mentioned the bank and more people there, but there's a little establishment that sort of gets overlooked a lot of the times, and they told me they get overlooked as the nail spa, the nail salon. That they don't have a lot of parking, so this would help them also. That was actually a concern I had too about the accidents. Do we need to amend, or is the fact that it's a pilot program we could put in there to maybe lower the speed limit so they could, not go 5 miles an hour, but sort of look a little bit slower where people can look around it also, with backing out, that it could help that situation.
Certainly. It is certainly a known plan, in fact, that backing out may increase accident rates, although that won't mean we'll see any accidents there on G Avenue. It's simply that the potential rate does go up. That generally happens on streets with higher speed limits, which trying to back out into 50-mile-an-hour traffic or larger traffic counts. But it definitely is something that we can take a look at if it's appropriate to lower speed limits, which is another thing that's planned around, like low speed limits through downtown, because people see businesses when they drive slow.
And also about since it's going to be a pilot program, can we ask the businesses, because this is something that Blueberry Cafe requested, was a handicap parking close to their establishment, because they have elderly people going for coffee and having to park around where the Douglas Dispatch is, and that's that's a long way for, I think we need to accommodate our constituents who need that accommodation.
The plan is the final engineering is done, but the plan is one handicap space per block per side. So we definitely have a lot of handicap, because we do have a lot of senior citizens, a lot of handicap access, so we definitely want to accommodate that and let them get as close as possible where they're going.
Any other comments?
Yeah, Mayor, I have one more.
Yep.
I wanted to thank Mr. Gardner for answering my question that when this came up in the work session. I asked him how that would affect the rates, and there is what's the traffic count north of Tiasco South. And he was very kind enough to provide that information and do that in a quick study. And it turns out that it's negligible anyway. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gardner. Thank you. May I have a motion to approve?
The motion is on the floor.
Roll call.
Councilmember Morales?
Yes.
Councilmember Lindemann?
Yes.
Councilmember Hewitt?
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Soto?
Yes.
Councilmember Grijalva?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes. Motion carries. And we're jumping back to item number 8, discussion decision on approval of third reading of ordinance number 19-1114, an ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, authorizing the sale of a semi-approved parcel of land located on the 900 block of 2nd Street, lots 9 and 10, within parcel number 409-14093C to Joseph L. Garcia and Maria de la Luz Garcia, husband and wife, pursuant terms entered into by the party, establishing severability of components of ordinance and and declaring an emergency. Mr. Flores?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, members of council. This is the third reading on the subject sale to Mr. and Mrs. Garcia. It's been contemplated for a couple of months. We couldn't act on it last month, and so we didn't want our 30-day delay to count against them. So we're asking that we pass it by emergency. That way they can get what was promised to them in a timely manner. Mr. and Mrs. Garcia are here today. We talked before the meeting, and they'll be coming in on Friday to finalize the paperwork pending with the city.
Terrific. Mr. Mayor? Mr. Hewitt?
I move that the mayor and council approve the third reading of ordinance number 19-1114 by number and title only and declaring an emergency.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Hewitt, second by Councilmember Lindemann. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilmember Morales?
Yes.
Councilmember Lindemann?
Yes.
Councilmember Hewitt?
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Soto?
Yes.
Councilmember Grijalva?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes. Motion carries.
An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, authorizing the sale of a semi-improved parcel of land located on the 900 block at 2nd Street, lots 9 and 10, within parcel number 409-14-093C to Joseph L. Garcia and Maria de la Luz Garcia, husband and wife, pursuant to terms entered into by the parties, establishing severability of components of ordinance and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Congratulations to the Garcias. Thank you. Item number 9, discussion decision on approval of second reading of ordinance number 19-1115, an ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, amending ordinance number 718837 and 10-987 and 19-1109, adjusting fees for the visitor center facility and programs in order to recover operating costs, establishing severability of components of ordinance, and establishing an effective date thereof. And for that, we have Mr. Pedrosa.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and members of council. If you recall, with the previous reading, this ordinance is to make a correction on the way we passed the original ordinance in September. We inadvertently placed some language there while we were trying to increase the fees for the visitor center, and we inadvertently removed the room fee. So with this ordinance, we make that correction and we increase the fees as intended, as originally intended, basically increasing the room fee by $15.
May I have a motion to approve?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Morales?
I move that mayor and council approve the second reading of ordinance number 19-1115 and to place it on third reading by number and title only.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Morales, second by Councilmember Lindemann. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor, if I can add, since we have, I think, a bigger crowd than we had at that time, Mr. Pedrosa I know we know why these fees are going into effect, but could you give us sort of like a summary on why we're raising the visitor center's fees to make the city whole in that regard?
Yes, thank you, Councilmember Grijalva. Yeah, so, various analysis took place while considering this. We compared ourselves to other cities and and their facilities and how they rent those rooms for public use. We were comparably to those other cities, we were lower than them. We decided to bring those up, as well as recuperation of costs for the operation of the visitor center was the second goal there. So definitely within those two factors, we raised these fees. Just to give you an example of what it looks like for under 50 people for the use of the visitor center, we were charging $60. So raising that to about $15. That's basically what we're looking at, and then you start adding things like use of the kitchen and things like that. Those do become added fees. But basically those were the two goals in mind as we explored this increase.
And Ms. Villosa, when you say that you compare ourselves with other cities, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but you're relatively the size of our city, correct?
Mayor, yes, that's correct. We compare ourselves to those cities that are comparable to the city in population, in budget size, and the other one is, I believe it's approximate income level.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Hughes?
If I may ask a question, how often is it used?
The visitor center is used at least weekly. We almost always have meetings, events at least once a week.
Seeing that, I would hope that, we compare them to other cities, but I hope we're comparing them also to that we're not competing with any business in town. In other words, that we'd much rather have them go to the business versus coming to us. I understand there's certain community meetings that obviously they should be there, and don't have any issues with that, but what I would term private meetings, I would hope that we're not, half the price of somebody that has a business trying, we wouldn't be competing with them. So, just like that, staff to just be aware of that and make sure if it does happen to bring that to us, and maybe we have to change the way the usage of the facility.
Mr. Hughes, I know that's one thing that we were under. I think we're a little bit more competitive now with these rates compared to other facilities.
Any other comments from council? Roll call.
Councilmember Morales?
Yes.
Councilmember Lindemann?
Yes.
Councilmember Hewitt?
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Soto?
Yes.
Councilmember Grijalva?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, motion carries.
In ordinance of the Mayor and Council of the City of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, amending ordinances 718, 837, and 10-987, and 19-1109, adjusting fees for the visitor center facility and program in order to recover operating costs, establishing severability of components of ordinance, and establishing an effective date thereof.
Item number 10, discussion decision on approval of resolution number 19-1379, a resolution of the Mayor and Council of the City of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, approving the City of Douglas Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report for fiscal year 2018-2019. And I believe we have Ms. Lina Gonzalez for that item.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. This consolidated annual performance and evaluation report is a requirement of the CDBG impairment funds, which we receive every year. We put put it out to public review and comment period from October 15th through October 30th. I am asking for approval of the report so that we can submit that to review.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Hewish?
Move that the mayor and council approve resolution number 19-1379.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Hewish, second by Councilmember Shelton. Any discussion?
Mayor, I'd just like to tell Mrs. Gonzalez, thank you for all that you do with these grants, because this is free money. You know, well, not free money, it's government money, but it's money that's coming back into the city for programs. So if it wasn't for these grants, we probably wouldn't have like the park and all these the playgrounds. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other comment? Could you start the order in reverse, Mrs. Gonzalez?
Yes.
What was it?
Councilmember Ricardo?
Yes.
Councilmember Soto?
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Hewish?
Yes.
Councilmember Lindemann?
Yes.
Councilmember Morales?
Yes.
And Mr. Mayor?
Yes. Motion carries. Item number 11, discussion decision on approval of resolution number 19-1380, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, approving the city of Douglas Community Development Block Grant CDBG annual action plan with substantial amended for fiscal year 2018. And for that, yes, Ms. Zenia, welcome back.
Yes. This is a proposal for reallocation of the use of funds for fiscal year 2018. The proposed use of funds in the annual action plan that has been submitted to and reviewed and approved by HUD was initially for community center. In talking with potential partner for the community center, we are not within the time frame to get that done by the time we expend these funds, so we are proposing to reallocate the funds for fiscal year 2018 to do improvements at Veterans Park.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Hewish?
Move that the mayor and council approve resolution number 19-1380.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Hewish, second by Councilmember Morales. Any discussion?
Mayor,
Mr. Lindemann?
if I may just thank Ms. Gonzalez again for putting in the work for all this, because I'm really excited when I look at how the reallocation is going to be spent. We've got a shade for the all-inclusive
Right.
playground area, wonderful. A new swimming pool pump, LED lighting along the pathways in the park. Excellent ideas, and I want to just thank you very much.
Mr. Gonzalez, I do have, you might be back in the podium. Mr. Minalvo, was that you?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask a quick question because the Councilmember Lindemann was excited. What ward is that park in? I'm excited too, but I'm just saying. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez.
Quick question, so we did not, we're still working on the community center. I'm aware of that.
Yes.
So, with the, can you just give us a brief overview of what do you anticipate, what would be the first, with these new amended for fiscal year 2018 funds, what's going to be the first project that we'll tackle in 2020 with these new funds?
For fiscal year 2019, which is our fiscal year 2020, we are doing aquatic center improvement. So what we are doing there is a new pool pump for the aquatic center, a dehumidifying system, and LED lighting for the basketball court south of the aquatic center.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I have a comment.
Yes.
Technically, Mr. Lindemann and I share the 8th Street Park, because 5th Street is the south side of 6th Street is Ward 1, the north side of 6th Street is Ward 2.
Just FYI.
Just FYI.
And we've always shared.
Roll call. From Ward 6.
Councilmember Ricardo?
Yes.
Councilmember Soto?
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Hewish?
Yes.
Councilmember Lindemann?
Yes.
Councilmember Morales?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, motion carries. Item number 12, discussion decision on approval of resolution number 19-1381, A resolution of the Mayor and Council of the City of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, promoting rail service in the region as a means to increase tourism and foster economic development in the City of Douglas. And with that, we have my good friend. How are you?
I really appreciate the opportunity, and thank you very much to Mayor Uribe and all the council members for their enthusiastic support, and all the city staff, especially City Attorney Juan Flores for helping draft the resolution, and having it kind of dovetail with initiatives that have already been taken as far as tourism and economic development and so forth. I think we need to discover, if there are ways, and I think there are, that rail service can be built into it. I just have a few comments. Did everybody get this packet? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yeah. Railroads have a long and proud history in Douglas. One can see that it's, if you go to the police station and see the former train station, which used to have considerably more traffic. I don't want to just look into the past where there was a lot of service in the past, but there were other modes of transportation like air or automobile in many cases. Automobiles have allowed us unlimited freedom, but they have taken over to such an extent that there are few opportunities for travel by other means. And not everyone has access to autos because of age, cost, handicap. Passenger trains are more fuel efficient than auto travel in the long run. They're actually much safer, 7 times more safe than highway travel. 40,000 people died on the highways last year in the United States. And if we actually look at some of these benefits, we might be alarmed, actually. Rail lines are not cheap to construct, but compared this with billions that is spent on the highway. There's quite a trade-off there. I have here something that I thought would make a good introduction. I just kind of scribbled this off this afternoon. Could these be passed out to the council members? And I'm speaking from the advantage of Olive, Arizona, which I'm a part. But mainly because I like to travel by train. You may need a few more. I've got more here. In fact, there may be enough for members of the audience that can't be interested. I'm just trying to establish what the goals of Olive, Arizona are. Practically all of the members live in either Phoenix or Tucson in those areas. I live here, and I've lived here now for over 20 years. I thought, well, what can I do in this area, to work on some of these same goals? One is just to increase overall awareness of rail is a travel option. There are a lot of people who don't even realize that it even exists. My son-in-law lived near Kansas City his whole life. He's in his 40s. He's never ridden a train. It was quite a good train, going through that area. So the overall awareness. Another important item would be the increase of in state, service on the Sunset Limited and also on the, Texas Eagle, from 3 times per week to David. Most of the rail lines in the United States are, David. And I don't know how we wound up with just 3 times a week here in this area, stopping in Benson and in Tucson and other parts of Arizona. Another would be to extend the service to Phoenix, goes through Maricopa right now. It's not the same thing as going through Phoenix. It's just the draw of passengers that you would get by going through Phoenix would be entirely different. Another is to replace aging equipment and also to improve the bus and shuttle connections to various railheads, to rail stops. I know most of the staff and councilmen that I've talked with are very interested in rail lines in our area within Cochise County. I haven't really worked on that, and so I don't know of the potential. I think that's something that really should be looked at very much so. For example, what about a border route? There are many things that really depend on stability and peace in this world. And if we can have that peace and stability, will be further advanced by rail connections. We're all connected, and that makes a difference in how we look at each other.
I think, Ms. Dodge, you hit the nail on the head by implying that we're all interconnected, and we are. I want to thank you for putting this together and promoting the railroad. It's going to require some heavy lifting, but this is a step, your resolution that you bring forward, and hopefully with the support of council in tonight's action. It's another channel that we're using, as you say here. A collaborative effort will serve towards a continuing momentum focus on regional tourism and economic development campaigns, and that's what we're trying to do. So I thank you for the presentation, and hopefully council approves this, and this is the beginning of a long-term process. Thank you.
A lot more research and
Absolutely.
I just appreciate this additional opportunity and everybody's support.
Absolutely.
Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Hewish?
I move that the mayor and council approve resolution number 19-1381.
Second. Motion by Councilmember Hewish, second by Councilmember Shelton. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, if I could just comment. I agree with Mr. Dodge. If people use it, it would help economic development, whether they're traveling, they're sending things. Or I think in Douglas, we lose sight that a lot of people come down from here, from Phoenix, from New Mexico, from Texas, and it's another world here. So it would be a great tourist destination. It would be more convenient than, driving 4 hours or driving, how many more hours. So it's interesting. It's definitely exciting, especially with how fast we're moving as a city.
Thank you, Mr. Dodge.
Thank you very much.
Any other comments on this side? Hearing none?
Yes, I do have something. I've known people that have wanted to bring rail back here, but if we were to put that thing, it would be $100 million or more. I mean, it's massive when you start laying down track that's been pulled up and having to do everything. It's too bad that, we had our lines taken up, and then it was about 15 years ago, they did go from Benson to Bisbee Junction, but they ripped those tracks up too. So it's millions of dollars to get our trains reestablished like they were. And we don't have the the copper mines here. I know when I was a kid, I used to wait for my father to come home, and that was the favorite thing to do. Go down and to Bisbee Junction and see the old Smoky Tom come in. There was a train that brought all the copper cars back so they could be loaded and then go back to Douglas. And then the Southern Pacific, the Sunset Limited, used to come through Bisbee and Douglas and no more. And matter of fact, my father-in-law, during World War II, they were going to enlisting or drafting, but he was a clockmaker, and he was put in charge of all the clocks and watches between San Diego and El Paso. And I love trains. Matter of fact, I had my number of Lionel trains. Really interested in it. But anyway, the history of trains here is great, but the process of bringing them back would be hundreds of millions of dollars, I'm afraid. If the government would come through and build it, that would be fine. It's anyway, that's all.
Thank you, Mr. Shelton.
I just wonder if I could respond.
Mark, yeah.
There's no question it would be very expensive.
Yeah.
We do spend billions of dollars in other ways.
You should come to the podium. Okay. This way. Mr. Shelton had a question.
In any case, I think it is a long process, a slow process. I'm sure at my age, I'm not seeing anywhere near the end of it. But when you balance it with everything else that we're doing, particularly the billions that are spent on highways every year, that is something to ponder about. All I can say. The first thing I think is just to increase awareness of the existing rail travel and maybe try to improve segments of it.
Thank you, Mr. Dodge. Roll call.
Councilmember Grijalva?
Yes.
Councilmember Soto?
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Hewitt?
Yes.
Councilmember Lindemann?
Yes.
Councilmember Morales?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Dodge. This is a step. Thank you. Item number 13. Discussion decision on approval of resolution number 19-1382, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, updating various job descriptions for fire police management services and developing services establishing severability of components. Mrs. Pedrosa?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you have a packet of job descriptions that we would like for you to consider approving. We've worked with department directors in the last few months, and this packet only contains partial requirements because there's just so many job descriptions that we need to look at that we just need to make sure that we get all of them together. For this packet, we have management services, we have fire, police, and development services. They review all their job descriptions, went through what they thought needed some changes, and it's just a few minor details on some of them. It's just reporting, it's just adding a few duties here and there that weren't there before, or deleting some that we're no longer doing. So this is just for your approval before you do.
We have a motion to approve.
Mayor,
Mr. Lindemann.
I move that the mayor and council approve resolution number 19-1382.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Lindemann, second by Councilmember Shelton. Any discussion?
No, this is briefly, at least in my attachments that I have, in the past, we've got a nice strike through, what's been changed. Is that difficult with the new program?
I just found out this afternoon before coming to the meeting that it didn't translate from the Word document to the PDF document with the new system. I did print them all with the strike through, and so I can't give those to you as a memo, or however you would like to do it. But yes, we do have this. That's how they were submitted. They just didn't translate correctly into the system.
What didn't transfer correctly, the language?
The changes.
Changes.
Yeah, for them to be able to see what the changes are.
If you could leave a copy in the council office, I think that would be sufficient.
Any other comments on this side? No? Roll call?
Councilmember Grijalva?
Yes.
Councilmember Soto?
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Hewish?
Yes.
Councilmember Lindemann?
Yes.
Councilmember Morales?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes. Motion carries. Item number 14, discussion decision on approval of resolution number 19-1383, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, authorizing the execution of a non-exclusive license agreement between the city of Douglas and helping ourselves pursue enrichment incorporation, Hope Incorporation, for licensee to use a portion of the improved city-owned facility at 661 Chi Avenue in the city of Douglas. For that, we have Mr. Pedrosa.
Good evening again, Mayor, members of council. This license agreement was requested by Hope Inc. Hope absorbed Wellness Connections. We currently lease the property to Wellness Connections, a behavioral agency there at 661 G Avenue. That's a city-owned facility. Mentioned Hope is just taking over the corporation and basically offering the same services through there. Since they have a new organization, we need to establish a new license agreement. We took the liberty of implementing some small changes. Mostly everything remains the same from the wellness agreement. And basically, they still wanted access to the workout room. We still wanted to give access to our senior citizens free of charge to that workout room. Of course, if the aging of that equipment is coming up, we definitely need to look at the future and see if we need to move that. That if we do in the future, that they take responsibility of the workout room. Something that's worth mentioning there. I believe we also added that we needed to take charge of the alarm system, as well as the HVAC. Typical landlord duties that we have to absorb. And actually we made those improvements to the alarm system already. And those are it.
May I have a motion to approve?
Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Hewish?
I move that the mayor and council approve resolution number 19-1383.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Hewish. I heard Mr. Shelton, so I'm going to go with Mr. Shelton. To my left, any discussion? Mr. Hewish?
I'm not sure if anybody from Hope is here, but I was just curious, is they're taking over the wellness, is it similar services? Those types of things?
Yes, similar services. It's not the same services that Wellness is offering. I also didn't mention that their activation date, or when they got their license from the state, is effective February 28th.
Any other follow-up?
Yes, well, I've got one
Mr.
question.
Shelton?
What type of liability insurance do we have, or they have, in case, somebody's injured?
Councilmember Shelton, we require them to get general liability
The
insurance.
minimum bond.
Yeah, as part of this license agreement.
Okay, I want to make sure we get that on hand.
Yes.
Okay.
That's all. Any other comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilmember Morales?
Yes.
Councilmember Lindemann?
Yes.
Councilmember Hewish?
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Soto?
Yes.
Councilmember Grijalva?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, motion carries. Item number 15, discussion decision on approval of resolution number 19-1384, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, authorizing an IGA between between Cochise County and various other cities for continued participation in a countywide tourism and economic development initiative to ensure consistency in regional economic development. Mrs. Dawn Prince.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. The Cochise County Tourism and Economic Council is actually a revamp of the previously long-standing Cochise County Tourism Committee, which was started by all the cities in Cochise County with the county participating, and that just happened a number of years ago. The goal of the previous Cochise County Tourism Council was to collaborate and pool resources to attract tourism to the county under the Land of Legends brand. However, the focus was on tourism and not on a broader economic development growth for the area. Based on the population, the City of Douglas apportionment for funding for the previous CCTC was $13,917 for the most recent fiscal year, which just ended in June. With the change to this new Economic Development Council, the committee will be comprised of city managers versus just staff and marketing folks. So city managers from Benson, Bisbee, Douglas, Sierra Vista, and Wilcox. Tombstone is actually going to be doing their own thing, so they will not be a part of this moving forward. For cities such as ours, collaboration like this to ensure a greater reach for greater outcomes is really beneficial, and this collaboration is just that for Douglas. As with most governmental collaborations, intergovernmental agreement is the most appropriate means of defining each entity's role, and that's what's before you today for consideration. And with that, if you have any questions, I'm here.
We have a motion to approve.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Morales.
I move that Mayor and Council approve resolution number 19-1384.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Morales, second by Councilmember Lindemann. Any discussion?
I'm sorry.
Let's start here with Mr. Hewitt.
Can you tell us who on staff is our representatives to this?
Previously or currently?
No.
Currently, it's the city manager or myself who will be on this council, along with the city managers for Bisbee and for Sierra Vista and Wilcox and Benson.
Mr. Grijalva?
Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to point out, I was part of randomly a council member being part of the mayor's and manager's luncheon. This was, in a few months into my term, and I completely agree with this because, as Ms. Prince was saying, Douglas everybody was putting in a different amount at that time, and the theme didn't really fit all the cities, uniquely. As the deputy city manager stated, it was the Land of Legends, so that only really concentrates on a few cities like Tombstone. So that's why I'm not surprised they're doing their own thing. While it didn't fit Bisbee with our artistic promotion now, and Douglas, how we're trying to find our niche or personality. So I completely agree with this. Now it's an even playing field. Now everybody's putting in an equal amount where they're all represented directly, and I'm glad that now the city manager is a part of that staff instead of going to a certain group and then that certain group goes to another group and then they bring back whatever they decided. So now we have more of a voice when it comes to tourism.
So just one more thing I'd just like to clarify is part of the new initiative with the new group will include a new brand for Cochise County, so it will no longer be Land of Legends. They're actually out right now looking for a marketing firm that will take that on to begin that, and the city managers are going to be an integral part of what that ultimately comes up with.
Ms. Prince, something that's going to really entice me to vote yes for this item is I'd like to see what we're going to get, how we're going to market ourselves, what's going to be the aesthetic of our marketing material that we're going to be using. $15K for me, it's a lot from the previous. Tombstone is excluding themselves from this package. Obviously, something there is working. So I'd like to see what we're going to get for the 15 in February's council meeting or in March council meeting.
Absolutely.
For this.
I'll bring that back to you.
Thank you. Any other comments on this side? Roll call?
Councilmember Morales?
Yes.
Councilmember Lindemann?
Yes.
Councilmember Hewitt?
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Soto?
Yes.
Councilmember Calva?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, motion carries. Item number 16, discussion decision on ratification and approval of resolution number 20-1385, a resolution of the Mayor and Council of the City of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, ratifying and granting a utility easement to Arizona Public Service Company for installation and maintenance of electric lines together with pertinent facilities and fixtures that will serve the Douglas Municipal Airport as part of parcel number 41001-0085 and authorizing the city manager to execute all necessary documents. Mr. Padilla?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As mentioned, APS is seeking a utility easement on our property at the Douglas Municipal Airport. This is to accommodate the border wall contractor that's currently stationed there. Currently, they have various trailers there on our property. They would like to get permanent power to those trailers. Currently, they're running off of generators. So this easement basically runs the existing tie-in or will tie into the existing service over to their location. This presents a good opportunity to establish the airport with more opportunities to market it in the future with available power. As you know, they have water. Actually 2 water services there. So definitely for the future, this is something that we can possibly market as a property that has all those services available.
Mr. Mayor? Mr. Hewish? I move that the mayor and council approve resolution number 20-1385.
Second. Motion by Councilmember Hewish, second by Councilmember Shelton. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, if I may, do we have any say-so on the load that APS, the load of the line that APS will be running in that area?
Mr. Hewish, I don't have an answer for that. I'll have to check.
The bigger the better, of course, if we want to, for our benefit, to be able to market it in the future there at the airport, which is a very vital asset that we have in our community. Thank you.
Any other comments? Hearing none, roll call?
Councilmember Morales?
Yes.
Councilmember Lindemann?
Yes.
Councilmember Hewish?
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Soto?
Yes.
Councilmember Calva?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes. Motion carries. Item number 17, discussion decision on approval of resolution number 20-1386, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, establishing a formal street sweeping policy as requested by the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality. And for that, we have Mr. Peter Gardner.
Thank you, Mayor, good evening, members of council. Again, right off the bat, I want to clarify this is not a new policy. This is taking our existing policy that came in the direction of the previous council and putting it into formal council action to satisfy permit requirements from the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality. At this time, street sweeping, we do have 9 street sections that are done once per month, and that takes approximately 1 week. The other 3 weeks are assigned to the rest of the city, and over the course of the year, the rest of the city is clean. You do have on your packets there what those 9 sections are, so unless anyone asks, I won't belabor you by reading those. Couple bits of information: why is it done? Why are those sections done once a month? Why is this? Why is it not done more? And that's simply staff and machinery capacity. We don't have enough. We only have 1 real sweeper, 1 driver, so we do get this done. But that's really it. When we do have extra debris after a storm, that's handled by a different system. But this is our standard system. If there's any technical questions, I do have this resolved. I believe Mr. Romero here to answer those. If there's any questions, I can answer.
Thank you, Mr. Gardner.
Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Hewish?
Move that the mayor and council approve resolution number 20-1386.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Hewish, second by Councilmember Morales. Any discussion?
Mayor, I have a question. Mr. Gardner, you mentioned that, we don't have a lot of the equipment, and this was also a discussion that we had with, as far as the streets go, with the rollers and all that. I understand that, we don't have a lot of money to work with, but it would be nice to know how much this equipment costs in case we want to put it into a capital, one of those projects, so we could know, just in case we do need it at some point, we know how much we need to invest in it. So is there, sort of like a list that we can get of the equipment that we're short on, as far as, not right now, but, later on?
Yes. I was going to defer that to Mr. Romero, but yes, the answer to that is of course yes.
Mr. Hewish?
I don't mean to place Mr. Romero on the spot, but how many years we got with that?
5 years.
About 5 years, you think, left?
Oh, no, left on it?
Left in that,
That's after 8 or 9 years.
You
We've
think
had it
it'll-
for 5 years already.
We've had it 5 and
Yeah.
should last with regular maintenance
Yeah,
another 8 or 9.
yeah.
Thank you.
Any other comments from council? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilmember Morales?
Yes.
Councilmember Benjamin?
Yes.
Councilmember Hewish?
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Soto?
Yes.
Councilmember Grijalva?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, motion carries. By the way, thank you to Mr. Romero and Mr. Gonzalez both for your leadership. Thank you. Item number 19, discussion and decision on ratification and approval of resolution number 201388, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, authorizing the city of Douglas to enter into municipal lease number 24770 with Motorola Solutions for the replacement of the base radio system. Mr. Bullen, Chief Bullen.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, the police department serves as the public safety answering point for the PSAP for the city of Douglas and the surrounding area. As the PSAP, we're responsible for answering emergency calls for service through the 911 system, as well as non-emergency calls received through the administrative line, and dispatching those calls for police, fire, and emergency medical services. Our dispatchers communicate through a base radio system, which is based on a computer that was last updated or upgraded in 2007. Parts for that computer system are now obsolete and are only available on a very limited basis on eBay. Time is of the essence. We did include this project as part of the capital improvements plan that was implemented as part of this fiscal year's budget. But I did ask for that to be prioritized because if that system crashes, it is not able to be uploaded on newer computer software, and we'll essentially be communicating on handheld radios for all our first responders, and that obviously puts our first responders in peril. The additional concern was that Motorola was in a position to offer some incentives because it was the year end, and that's where we took advantage of this.
Mr. Mayor? Mr. Hewish? I move that the mayor and council approve resolution number 20-1388.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Hewish, second by Councilmember Shelton. Any discussion?
It's great that you're able to get a 5-year term with 0 interest. Find that. Great.
That was a comment?
Yes, that was a comment.
Mr. Hewish?
Funding, I believe, Mrs. Watson mentioned something about there's maybe a possibility of some outside funding to assist us with that. Am I thinking about something different, or is it about this project?
I think you might be thinking about something different.
Okay.
We did make several attempts to identify alternative funding through grants, but we're unsuccessful.
Okay. But that wouldn't prohibit us for continually seeking.
No, it would not. We would continue those efforts.
Thank you.
Mayor, if I may,
Mr. Grijalva?
comment on that. I think you did mention that in the department head meeting where, we have several options as far as getting a new system, a brand new one, or, one that's used but reliable. I think this is very important. We need to prioritize it as much as we can. I mean, we approved a grant writer, so I think this should be moved up if we can direct staff to this should be one of the top ones, if not the first one, because like you mentioned, not only are you connected to it, but the fire department is connected to it too, and if you're put in a dangerous situation, we don't want you using handheld radios or sending in firefighters into a burning building with unreliable equipment. So I think this is very important. We need to prioritize this.
Mr. Roy?
Is there any way that the new system can include the old Bell system so we know where the fire's at in the community? I mean, that was the highlight of, you hopped on your bike to go see what was going on?
I think for the most part, you walk outside and just look around.
Oh. Okay, roll call. Thank you.
Councilmember Morales?
Yes.
Councilmember Lindemann?
Yes.
Councilmember Hewitt?
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Soto?
Yes.
Councilmember Grijalva?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, motion carries. Item number 20, discussion decision on approval of resolution number 20-1389, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, authorizing the execution of the intergovernmental agreement between the city of Douglas and Cochise County to provide certain election supplies and services for the city's primary general elections scheduled for March 10th, 2020 and May 19th, 2020, respectively. May I have a motion to approve? Excuse me.
Mayor?
Who will have the background on that?
I can provide you with the facts.
Thank you.
The intergovernmental agreement between the city of Douglas and Cochise County is to provide certain election supplies and services for the city's primary and general elections scheduled for March 10, 2020 and May 19, 2020, respectively. Some of the services, as you may be aware, are to provide the all election mail ballots, conduct the logic and accuracy tests of programs and equipment for both days, validate the process and count ballots, provide one trade person to staff. That means that Cochise County will provide the election officers to be here on both days if we have it. Also, general election, on their election. They will provide a secure box for drop-off ballots, provide affidavits of drop-off and replacement center as required by the Arizona State statute, provide all signage and supplies required to operate the drop-off and replacement center. And with that, I can entertain any other questions regarding the agreement. You also have it in front of you, and staff recommends approval of the resolution so that we can get the services.
Thank you. Ms. Lindemann, I interrupted you when you
Oh,
were...
that's fine, thank you. I move that the mayor and council approve resolution number 20-1389.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Lindemann, second by Councilmember Morales. Any discussion?
I have a question, Mayor. If I understood right, Ms. Andrade, that they provide a trained person and we provide one also? Or how does that work?
They do, Mayor and Mr. Hewish, they do provide one person that is a Republican staff from Cochise County Elections Office, and one Democrat from the city, which in this case will be the clerk.
So that's what we're designated, and they would be the only people authorized to be able to watch a ballot be placed in the lockbox.
Yes.
Mayor, if I can ask a question, since you said they would be supplying they're basically balancing what the clerk is, right, as far as political affiliation, if I understand it correctly.
Mr. Grijalva, that is correct. Most of the services are provided by Cochise County Elections Office, and as you know, we have an all-mail election ballot. The day of election, we are here with Cochise County staff from 5:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. There will be one staff from Cochise County and the clerk.
Any other comments? Roll call.
Councilmember Morales?
Yes.
Councilmember Lindemann?
Yes.
Councilmember Hewitt?
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Soto?
Yes.
Councilmember Grijalva?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, motion carries. Item number 21, discussion decision on approval of resolution number 20-1390, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, amending Chapter 5 of the Municipal Code to the cable services / television and related services, establishing severability of components, and establishing an effective date thereof.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, good evening. As you'll recall, last July we passed the first component of the cable licensing application and guidelines. Tonight we're making some minor modifications in order for it to better conform with the state law requirements. In July we basically adopted the general guidelines, and tonight we provide more specific guidelines for the licensing of the cable television.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Hewish, move that the mayor and council approve resolution number 20-1390.
Is there a second? Second. Motion by Councilmember Hewish, second by Councilmember Shelby. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, just a point of clarification for the public, this is due to a law that was passed at the state level requiring us to have this on our own books.
Mr. Mayor, Councilman Hewish, absolutely, we're in compliance with the cable television licensing requirements that the state provides, whereby the city will provide franchising capabilities as well as licensing, and the provider will make the decision as to which way to go, and we'll be ready to proceed. Thank you, Mr. Hewish.
Thank you, Mr. Flores. Any other comments? Hearing none. Roll call.
Councilmember Morales?
Yes.
Councilmember Lindemann?
Yes.
Councilmember Hewish?
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Soto?
Yes.
Councilmember Grijalva?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes. Motion carries. Item number 22, discussion decision on approval of resolution number 20-1391, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, authorizing an extension to the intergovernmental agreement between the city of Douglas and East Douglas Unified School District, the USD number 27, for purposes of providing paramedic, EMT, and animal control internship and externship experience to high school students in the city of Douglas. Welcome back.
Mayor, members of the council, the current agreement expired on May of 2019, and the district has approved a new one that will not expire in May of 22. So that gives us a 3-year period instead of coming here every year to approve the 98 requirements. Some questions, but I mentioned it is for police department, but it is the 98 for internship.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Hewish, I move that the mayor and council approve resolution number 20-1391.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Hewish, second by Councilmember Morales. Any discussion?
I have a question, Mr. Mayor. Are these the only internships that we provide? Because this sounds interesting. If we can get our youth involved, not really with politics, but more, around the city, so they can know what, our workers do. Because I didn't know. It took, me walking around City Hall to know how hard they work, what they do, and I don't think they're appreciated enough. So if we can get, if there's any other programs that might be available that we can do, that'd be great.
Yes, these are the internships that the district has identified because of their CTE classes that they have. We do have others that we do at the college level directly, and those are more general, not specific to the environment.
I'd like to hear some success stories from some of the interns that have interned with us, and just for them to share with council some of their takeaways from interacting with some of our city employees would be nice. Any other comments? Roll call.
Councilmember Morales?
Yes.
Councilmember Lindemann?
Yes.
Councilmember Hewish?
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Soto?
Yes.
Councilmember Grijalva?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you, Mrs. Pedrosa. Item number 23, discussion decision on ratifying and approval of resolution number 20-1392, a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Douglas, Cochise County, Arizona, ratifying and authorizing the acceptance of grant funding from APS in the amount of $3,500, and Freeport McMoran in the amount of $1,000 to be used for the Christmas tree lighting ceremony event in the city of Douglas. Mrs. Delgado?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. This is just to verify the resolution that the funds have already been used for the Christmas tree lighting ceremony, and it's just a formality in order to give our sponsors. Without them, the acceptance, well, the resolution will be in acceptance of the grant funding from APS in the amount of $3,500, and from Freeport McMoran in the amount of $1,000 that was used for the Christmas tree lighting ceremony event in the city of Douglas. The annual Christmas tree lighting ceremony would not have been successful without the help and sponsorship from our senior sponsors that donated graciously those amounts to our project.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor? Mr. Hewish?
I move that the mayor and council approve resolution number 20-1392.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Hewish, second by Councilmember Morales. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Lindemann?
let Mr. Hughes go first.
I just want to, if I may, Mayor, I'd just like to express gratitude to APS and Freeport McMoran for being part of our community. I know many times, especially Freeport gets a little bit of a ding because their presence no longer is here, but they do participate and they do have a desire to know what's going on in Douglas and a desire to help Douglas succeed. They still have interest in this town that, and I appreciate their leadership in allowing this to be part of their funding program.
Mr. Hewish, Mr. Lindemann?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I also wanted to thank our staff for putting on all that extra hours of work that they do to put on a real nice program. So it's a benefit to our community. Thank you.
Absolutely. I do want to express gratitude to our sponsors. Without them, we were just, and I'll let Mr. Grijalva maybe on the next item talk a little bit about the Freeport McMoran and how they've been so tremendously supportive towards our initiative and just the different, the census is one, but APS, without a doubt, they are amazing to work with, and we're thankful for them. Roll call.
Councilmember Morales?
Yes.
Councilmember Lindemann?
Yes.
Councilmember Hewitt?
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Soto?
Yes.
Councilmember Grijalva?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, motion carries. Item number 24, informational items and reports from council or management and future agenda items requested.
Mr. Mayor?
Mrs. Morales.
I just wanted to announce that myself, Mr. Hewish, and Mr. Shelton will be having a town hall on Tuesday, January the 28th at 6 o'clock here at the City Chamber. So please, I'm inviting everyone to come. And if you know of any constituents, doesn't have to be from our ward either, please, they're invited to come to this town hall. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Grijalva.
To tell you previewed it. I'm also planning to have a town hall in February. It's not, we're trying to get the situation right. I'd like it to be in my ward. So I'm going to have that for next month, and I'll have the details next month. But as the mayor mentioned, Freeport McMoran was very generous in our census efforts. I'm the council member representing the council in the census. And all it took was, because the city is not getting that much help, we don't have a lot of funds for the census. We need to print out material, we need to, come up with a team, and all it took was me asking Mr. Quintana from Freeport McMoran if he could help out, and he was very generous enough to donate $2,000 for the census effort. So it's very appreciative, like Mr. Hewish said, they're still very involved in the community. Even though you can't see them, they work behind the scenes, and I think it's time that we publicly thank them and showcase their efforts.
Thank you, Mr. Grijalva. As well, did I hear any comments on this side? No? Sorry.
That was me actually, Mr. Mayor. If I could just follow up to what
Yes.
Mr. Grijalva said. While preparing the agenda item for Freeport McMoran and APS, we did some reading on that, and the team realized that Freeport McMoran does a lot of community activities, Colorado, New Mexico, and in Arizona. And just like our partner APS, they're very active in community involvement, so we're very happy to have them.
Thank you, Mrs. Plus, for sharing that. Thank you. We as well, Mrs. Councilman Soto and I will be having una plática on January 21st at El Paso. You guys are all welcome to attend. We'll have a robust discussion on the projects that we've been working on, why there's so much excitement behind the city of Douglas, and I invite all of you and those watching as well to join us on the 21st of January. And as we close, we're moving on to item number 25, which is a great part. We have a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mayor, I move to adjourn.
Is there a second? Motion by Councilman Member Morales, second by Councilmember Shelton. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Motion carries. Meeting is